Hey y'all, I'm making a quick update to my finance video stuff. I was watching this show on Netflix, and it was this guy, he's talking about people with their finances and stuff like that. That was pretty interesting, but it seemed like he was talking to them about like the most basic stuff, like your debts and so forth, and not living above your means and so forth like that. Basic common sense stuff that most people should know, but we just simply don't listen to our own intelligent minds when it comes to finance. Really, obviously, you can see where I'm at. But I did a little bit of a change here. Like these numbers here, that is how much I am paying per month for the balance that I have. Right, so I just got paid, and it was about $1,600 after taxes and deductions, from my 401ks and loans and everything like that. But I paid, let's see, I paid about $1,000 to credit card one to start knocking that down because I needed the cash advance for the property. So as you can see here, the checking account's at 185. That 7,000 is gone because they cashed the check, right? So it's gone. But I'm still sitting at 185 in the account. I paid $1,000 to this card so I can start knocking it down again. I lose $20 per month for like the last 3 months is the average, and interest for that amount. So that's not horrible. For this outstanding balance, I paid $500 to it, and then I lose $113 estimately. The trailing 3 months is how much I lose in interest. The investment loan, I am losing anywhere from $300 to $330 per month while I have that balance. So that's a lot, right? And then with the stock portfolio, it's mostly based on, and this here is just what the portfolio looks like today with today's market. It's mostly just minor dividend stuff is mostly what I am seeking. But I am wanting to knock this down, but again, like even when I start getting this down further, it's probably going to be a little tough because we have expenses at the new property, and I already know that that's going to put a burden on me a bit. And then I have here, which is still setting at $3,000 for PayPal, so I still need to work this because even though I literally just paid $1,500 toward debts at that rate, it's gonna take forever, and I need to just get it going more, and that's bi-weekly. So, but I need to get that moving a bit more. So one of the things that I'm looking at doing is some of the cars in this collection here, I might look at moving some of them. I said it in a short, but it's just ones that have a lot of production, like 5,000 cars, 6,000 cars, things that later down the road, if I want to get it back, I can. But honestly, the finances are more important at this point, and I need to get that handle. And I thought of a creative way for me to do that, right? To where it makes it fun. So real quick, this is something that I'm going to make. So I'm going to get a big board, probably like the size of this whole thing behind me, if not bigger. And I'm going to do it like a map, similar to this example right here, except, and I'm gonna paint it on there and stuff like that too, just make it look super cool. That way it keeps me involved, right? Because it's no fun to try to tackle your finances. People don't like talking about it, they ignore it. But I think if you make it fun, then you can not only get the reward of not having a debt, and also building your wealth and increasing your your revenue, the amount of money you make in life, but you're also having fun with it. So what I'm going to do is something similar to this, right? I'm going to start doing this today, because it'll be super cool. But I'm going to paint a huge piece of plywood white. Now I'll make shorts about it if any of y'all are interested. I don't like saying the word subscribe, but if you do want to follow me along with the map that I'm going to be making and stuff like that, definitely check it out. So I'm going to be making shorts about that, because that'll be the easiest way for me to be able to upload the progress. But that's what I'm going to do. It's going to be like this, and I'm going to make ships, like how this is on my map that I'm going to be painting, which is going to be super cool. I'm also going to be using the cannons, Because as I've said before, I refer to getting dividends as cannons to be able to take more ships in a video I did a while back, just like little pirate theme kind of concept. But I think this would be really, really fun for me to do, and it'll make it where I'm making progress toward my financial health, but in a fun, positive way to where I don't want to put it on the back burner. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And then a lot of the areas are going to be my positions in companies. Okay, so for instance, I could say Hanesbrands, right? So I have current value 24.80 in Hanesbrands. I know I do get a dividend in Hanesbrands. So I'll turn around and then I'll get like a ship or something, and then I'll just put like, paint down on the bottom the companies that I own. And that ship will represent that company or companies that I attach to it. And then I'll put some cannons on there because the dividend I get paid is my cannon to, buy more stocks or pay my debt. And I have islands and so forth on there, which would be cool. And I'm going to use my job as an island, right? So it's a stationary thing. Like the job cost me nothing at all. Literally just my time. Do I want to have my time to do whatever I want in life? Yeah, because the more time you're at work is the less time you get to go enjoy the world, right? But you got to get to that point. You got to earn that point, really. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So that way, my job, I pay debts, because I'm going to be using these debts sort of as like pirate ships, like what they're doing here. And those are things that are taking away, my income, my money. Those are, pretty much enemy things, and I need to be able to get those gone. But it's going to be super cool. I'm going to start making a map with this kind of theme. I think it'll be cool. And then I'm also going to put things on there of companies I don't own, right? Like Coca-Cola. I'll make a ship out there and I'll give it like Coca-Cola sells. So it's going to be really cool. And it's going to be one I don't necessarily own, but it could be like something that you want to eventually get to a point and build in a position there, right? But in order to do that, you also have to make sure that, all these other things like the pirate sales and stuff aren't around you. Because, if I started building a position in Coke right now, and then I, get these debts, I'm going to have to start selling Coke probably just to pay debts, right? And we don't want to do that because Coke pays a dividend, so therefore it will have cannons on that ship. Stuff like that. That's the idea I'm going with. It's super fun, and this is something I'm going to look at doing. I'm going to start it today. I'm super excited about it. But I'm probably going to sell some of my cars. But I still like the cars, so it's just going to be some that are easy to get. But I can still get probably a couple grand off of selling a few of them, but I'll easily be able to get them down the line. So it's not like, one of those remorse sells. But here is just what the portfolio looks like. ZIM has dropped back off again from that 300 I was down. Now we're back at 26. But that's going to, that's still something that, has a lot of cannons on it. Yeah, it's a risk game, but I still like my ZIM stuff. So these are all things, once I start putting them on this map that I'm going to be making this evening, it's going to take a lot of time for me to paint this. Like, we're looking at like months, years of just, working on it for fun. But it gives me a better idea of the risks I'll also be looking at, because I'll be putting, with some of the ideas of a ship, I'll be putting on there like, the market cap or the risk involved and so forth. Tariffs will be like, the 25% Israeli fee. That could be like a tariff. Things to look at to make investing fun, to make paying off your debts fun. That way, you still get to save money, go on vacations in real life, but you're tackling things in a fun way versus in a way that makes you depressed, sad, or so forth. So that's what I'm going with when it comes to the map that I'm going to start working on today. Super excited about it. And as you can see, most of what I do, as I've said before, is all dividend investing positions for the most part, right? So like when I do a kind of like a ship and I give it Amazon sales, it's not going to have any cannons on it because, I don't get a dividend from it. So that's going to be the logic here. But also Amazon is way less risk than some of the other ones, right? So there's that. The risk factor is going to be very safe versus ZIM, PBR. The risk is more there, right? So there's going to be different perks to it. And as I make the progress and upload the videos, for any of you guys that are interested in stuff like that kind of gameplay or fun, I think y'all will really enjoy what I start to do here with it. But yep, so same thing. Last video, I have a few. I think I have 2 upcoming paychecks coming for the month of April, April 28th. There, thought I had another. Oh, okay, right underneath the NLY, but I don't actually own anything in NLY. It's just something I have to build up later, and I did want to get some more stuff, but I had to make sure to tackle these debts. That's why I put $1,500 toward those debts today. And then here in the 401k, we still got that $42,000 locked in on a 401k. And some of these here, because their ownership in companies and their pieces of it, do get dividends. They do get a little bit of dividend for having shares in that fund, that index. So I'm also going to be putting this on my map that I'm going to start making and so forth, because that's money that is there for me, so there's that. But I'm going to make this big thing, and I'll be able to show everybody. It'll be super cool. I like doing this too, to show folks what I got going on, how I try to combat my debts, and so forth. I also have like bills that I pay and all that, but there are ways to do it. We just got to make it fun, and you got to know where things are going, and sometimes you have to make sacrifices as well. But if you're doing it in a fun way, which that sounds very odd, but like if once I get this huge map, start working on that this evening, which would be super fun, and I see things I want to improve in my map, I'd be like, okay, well, I'm not going to go out to eat and spend $75 at this restaurant. Now, of course, if my girlfriend wants to go out to eat with her family and, they come with a check, I'm going to pay for that. That's just one of those things. I'm not going to not, still going to do my duties as in my relationship for sure. But when it comes to me being by myself, like when I'm at work, right, I'm going to have, like, I'm home for the weekend, I'm going to be cleaning and so forth, because I have to work, so I can't go to the new property and help. I'm on call. But I'm going to spend less on myself, and obviously I don't want to interrupt much of the spending for my relationship, because, you gotta, that has to come first. Money does not come before a relationship. But obviously, I'm talking like, serious marriage relationships, or, you're going to be with who you're going to be with for, forever. So stuff like that. But anyway, so I'm going to let this one go. But when I start making the map and whatnot, I'm going to try to get some progress on there first, so it's not just like a boring piece of plywood. I want to actually get some painting on there, get some stuff drawn up so you guys can see it. And I'll make some shorts and I will upload them as I do it. So I hope y'all, again, are doing very, very good with your finances. It takes time. That's one of those things. It doesn't happen overnight. So like I said, I got that little bit going there, but I know that my paychecks are not enough to be able to knock these down. So I have to put in a little bit more effort, which means I'm going to have to pull a little bit off my cars, which I'm willing to do. I've thought about it, and it definitely has to happen. But again, only things that you want to give up, because otherwise you might get like, okay, well, I'm selling stuff that I like, and then you start getting upset, and then you get frustrated, and you don't want to think about finances and stuff like that when you're upset, because you're more than likely just going to make mistakes versus repairs. But anyway, I hope you guys are having a great day. I hope your finances are doing good. I hope your stocks are taking off. I'm still keeping an eye on these banks. I think there's a lot of stuff there, big risk factors, but I'm willing to put in some stuff there. And I'm also going to look at when I start getting these big dividends, as several of y'all had commented and pointed out. I'm going to start looking at a few more safer plays with the dividends. That way, if something happens with one of these big dividend payers and I take a hit, at least I got something really nice out of it. And hopefully more than what I lose, right? But yeah, so keep an eye out and whatnot. And I will upload those shorts as I make the progress, so you guys can see my artwork, and you can see this cool idea that I'm going to do when it comes to taking big control over my finances and whatnot. So y'all have a great day for the millionth time, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.